And welcome back to the WJLX Scoreboard Show on this beautiful Friday night. I am Nick Norris, and with me are my guests, or my co-host, I should say, Patrick Hanna, and our guest, but also sort of a co-host.
Yeah, I'm just a nuisance.
Right now. How you doing?
It's been a really fun night to be able to go around and kind of be out of the booth. We were in the booth last night, so it's kind of fun. I went down to Oakman, got a big video I'm about to post up of the first score, so it's nice to be able to just get out that and, just kind of be on the sidelines for once.
Yeah, absolutely. And me and Patrick are at the Jasper game tonight, as we so often are. Patrick running the camera, and I was running the scorebug. And
congratulations to the boss.
Yeah.
That's right. And Jonathan Timmons there, the Carl Cannon Hero of the Game, got recognized by Carl Cannon and Jasper High School. It was really a cool moment. We shared the moment on our social media pages at WJLX. We can also watch the live stream of this show if you happen to be listening on the radio. You are welcome to comment there, any scores that you have, although I think we got all the finals. But be sure to highlight any players or coaches or anybody that you'd like to give a shout-out to. You can also call in 205-221-2222 as well. And give us some scores there as well. But, guys, despite us thinking that Jasper might be one of the first games done tonight, actually ended up being one of the finals. And the score doesn't reflect that, but it was just a longer game. And because of that, it actually worked out great because we have all the finals starting the show for maybe the first time this season at the beginning of the show.
Well, we had to work out all the kinks,
That's right. That's right. Well, it's nice because we don't have to sit here and do much research. I'm waiting on this Hoover game to go final, but that's really it. But let's go into these. So Jasper gets the big homecoming win over Columbia, 61-22. That, of course, was on WJLX. You could have listened on radio or on the live stream. Go back and watch it there. And the story of this one is that it's Columbia's 100th loss.
Yeah, and Columbia, they dressed, I think it was 29 players. But Sammy Coates, their head coach, former Auburn wide receiver, they were tough. They were tough out there, and they have a really, really good running back. And their running back also, I think it was the previous week, but whenever they played Athens, he returned 2 kickoff returns, 4 touchdowns. And he kind of got things going with them as well in this game. If he got any kind of space, he was able to bust out a big game.
Yeah.
And I can't remember his name, but I know he's a senior this year. The professor had the thing up there in the booth, and I forgot to take a thing of his name because I wanted to give him a shout-out because, he ran his tail off.
He
and all
did.
the night and stuff.
And Nick, that's what we were talking about.
Yes.
We had to figure that at the very least, Columbia had to have a decent offensive line to open up some type of hole. So at the very least, there is something there. I'm just wondering if they might pick up. They're playing a 2-6 Hazel Green team next week. Do they finally pick up that win?
We and watching the game, it was so baffling because I was expecting a very incompetent team to roll in, and they weren't.
No.
They just were, unlucky. Have they been unlucky for 100 games? I can't imagine. I'm sure in the last 10 years at some point they probably have been incompetent, but that wasn't what my takeaway at all from the team we saw tonight.
No, the only problem, there was a lot of problems out there in the game, but one of the common denominators is they couldn't get a playoff. They had, I stopped counting after, I think it was 12 delay a game penalties.
Yeah.
And I know what they were trying to do. They were trying to slow the game down.
Right.
Because if you really go back and watch, there in the first quarter, it's a 2-score ball game.
Yeah.
They were hanging in there, and the depth kind of got
even
out of
in the
it.
second half, the start of the second half.
Start second half, they were still in it, and their band was awesome too.
Yeah.
Me and Woody and James were up there just really jamming out with them. They were small, but they sounded like our Viking band and all. It was very entertaining. I think the future's bright if Coates will stay there because you could tell that they were more disciplined. And Coach Reese talked about that last night on the Coaches Show, and I really saw a lot of positives out of this team than I did last year's.
Yeah. I think the most glaring issue is they're just incredibly one-dimensional.
Yes.
But everything was pretty sound. They just they have one good player.
Yeah.
Not taking away anything from the other players, but they have one really great player, I should say.
Yeah.
And they're kind of struggling elsewhere. And they're not incompetent. They're not playing bad. They're just probably getting outplayed.
And if that quarterback could have a little bit more time to be able to do his checkdowns, he's got an arm on him. I mean, he threw in the second half a couple deep balls just trying to see if he could get a pass interference call to try to move the ball, to kind of get him out from loading the box, because that's all Jasper did second half, is just load the box.
Yeah. Well, this was Jasper's homecoming game. I believe their 7th win of the season tonight. So 7-2 as they go into the final regular season game next week, which we'll talk about next week here in a bit. But Brian, I want to talk to you because you were at the WJBE game of the week last night with Zach doing calling that game between Curry and Fultondale. Win Fultondale's favor big time, 38-10. Can you tell us a little bit about that game?
Well, Curry really came out positively in the game. I believe it was maybe 6-3, 3-0. It was a very short. First quarter looked great. Second quarter started really going downhill for the Yellow Jackets, and there was a lot of penalties. Which I know this is a controversial thing that happened, talked about constantly last night during the game, and on social media afterwards. There was quite a few questionable calls. You will definitely say that. But there was a lot of turnovers also that were going on. And midfield came out in what I like to call a pile driver formation. That's where they basically have nothing but linemen, a quarterback, and a running back on the field. The tight ends, they're all linemen and everything. I call it the pile driver. There was no way anybody was going to stop it. I mean, I don't think Jasper could stop it. I mean,
Really?
It's just... You have these just big, massive linemen that are just shifting around and doing everything.
Yeah.
The only thing that helped Curry even started to get back is Fultondale went back to the air. Amazing. But it ended up being 38-10, and there was there's going to be a lot more talking about the clock management in that game. Look, that's for everybody else to decide.
Right.
That was there. They can look it up on NFHS. Look, I'm just going to say this much right now. There was some bad calls, but there was also a lot of bad plays. So.
Well, going on down our list here, Gordo beat Carbon Hill tonight, 61-25. Big.
That was
point
close
differential
there for a little bit in the first half.
Yeah, there's a few more games on here that started out close and wasn't. I mean, we've already had Jasper, we had the Gordo, Carbon Hill. There's a few more we'll get to. Oakman beats Midfield 55-22. Now, there was an equation, and we'll get to the second half of this equation. If Oakman won tonight and something else happened, they would get into the playoffs. Oakman held up their end of the deal. We'll talk about that other half in a moment that didn't work out for them, but we'll get there here in just a moment. South Lamar beats Lynn 46-34. Another game that was pretty close up until the end there. Kind of fell apart. Meek beats Vina 52-8 tonight. Winston County gets the shutout over Decatur Heritage 49-0. Another one that was close for most of the game and didn't really turn out that way. Good Hope beats Dora 35-15.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
That was a 7-7 tie at a little after halftime.
Okay, yeah, but I say in the third, I believe it was tied at 7. Definitely went one way there toward the end. Thanks to Jared Aaron, we have the Cordova and Haleyville final, where Cordova squeaked out a win 14-13. Sounds like that was a good game.
Yeah, because that one was back and forth and low scoring the entire way.
Yeah. So went in Cordova's favor, 14-13. And our other area game for our Walwyn folks, Addison beats Phillips 48-6. A few other games of interest here. Thompson beats Prattville. That was a ranked matchup, 29-15. For those who are interested in Corner, right down the road, they had a tough night. They ended up losing to Carver Birmingham 34-26. Gadsden City, who is going to be Jasper's first round playoff opponent, won over Mae Jemison 13-12. Another very close game there. Squeaked it out. And I had mentioned earlier about the Oakman game. If Oakman were to win, which they did, this needed to happen. Hansville needed to upset Phil Campbell. At first, it was looking like there was a smidge of hope, And for a long time, we were stuck on one score that looked bad. It was like 52 to something, 52-14. We're like, well, this probably isn't happening. And then out of nowhere, they just updated the final score from halftime to then, 76-29 in Phil Campbell's favor. So not good news for Oakman or Hanceville. And I guess that will eliminate Oakman from playoff contention.
Wow.
Yeah. So no upset tonight on that one. 76-29. That's about as about as much of a beatdown as you can get there.
That might break the 600 point on the year total for Hanceville.
Oh wow.
I was going to ask how many points they've given up all year.
Time for me to do a little research. I'll
Yeah.
find out, fellas.
While you do that, and I appreciate that, let's talk a little bit about some shout-outs we want to give for that Jasper game, Patrick, since me and you did get to watch that one. Immediately, who comes to mind is Koger, who had 3 back-to-back touchdowns.
Yeah, he had a kick return, and then he had 2 rushing, and then Mekhi Pledger went over 1,000 yards for the season.
Yes, on the first play.
Yes.
First offensive play, he got over 1,000, which he needed 50.
Yeah.
And he got them in one play.
Yeah.
And then ended up having several more. I don't know how many yards he ended up having. Well,
Because I remember you were telling me before we went on there, he's like, hey, just in case if I miss it, let me know when he hits 1,000. And then I'm sending you a text right after first play. There you go.
Yeah, so congratulations to Mekhi. We posted a graphic and for that and congratulated him. He's a real standout kid too.
Oh, he is.
Yeah, he's a great kid.
I love to get to know him these past 4 years.
Yeah, he's awesome.
I have known him since he was in kindergarten all the way back to West Jasper before we went through the reconfiguring, and then had him again at Maddox and then junior high football, and being able to watch him grow up on varsity. I mean, just a great guy that's going to do a lot of great things at the next level. And, with us 3 right here, I mean, for Viking player of the game, I would probably go with Zion.
I think I would too. I mean, 3 touchdowns is hard to beat. Mekhi did have that 1,000 yards and a couple touchdowns, so argument there for him as well. And Smothers had a couple passing touchdowns too. He's unlike him not to get a rushing touchdown, but everybody else was doing was handling that field. He had either 1 or 2 passing touchdowns. And we had some other new guys hit the end zone.
C.J. Vincent.
Oliver.
Yeah,
E.J. Oliver found the end zone. Some guys got some playing time that hadn't had a whole lot this season, so that was fun to see as well. So nice to see diverse cast getting to the end zone for Jasper.
And it just goes to show too, next year they're going to continue what they've done this year because a lot of these young guys are getting some playing time.
Yeah.
And we've got a lot of skill guys coming back, a line coming back. I mean, it's going to be exciting for next year. We got to see how things reconfigure as well because this is also a reconfiguring year.
Yep. Reclassification, Lumen Large comes out usually right around in January.
That's right.
That's right. Before we go to break, I do want to also mention, while we're talking about Jasper volleyball last night. Went to the regional tournament, had a very successful first match and won that one. Faced off against Hazel Green, who we just mentioned a few minutes ago, in that second match. And what an unfortunate meeting there between just 2 great teams. I was lucky enough, I got to go to that match, and it was like watching a college match. I mean, they were, both teams were so equal. I mean, it could have went either way. It went all 5 sets.
And it was within a point or 2 in just about every single one of them.
Yes. I mean, every one of them was close. And somebody would get down 8 points and then come right back, and Jasper took the first one, and then Hazel Green took the next 2. Jasper got that fourth one to push a 5th, and then just came up just short on that 5th one. It was so entertaining, but I just wanted to shout out those girls and congratulate those seniors.
They're so
on an
fun
awesome
to watch.
season. Yeah,
they're so fun to watch.
And I know Hazel Green just dominated their opponent today, from what I understand. So it was kind of like almost a state championship tier meeting in the regional. So just unfortunate for Jasper, but still a great season. Congratulations to those girls, and I know a lot of them will be moving on to basketball now. So be looking forward to watching them there. Have you got those points? Still working on those points?
They are 6 points short.
Wow,
man!
594 on the season. Now here's the clincher, guys. Next week they play Oak Grove, which is a 4A team that's 7-2 in the year. Only lost to 14 to ACA. Anybody knows ACA knows how powerful they are. lose by 2 touchdowns, I have a feeling that there might be 80-plus scored next week.
Yeah.
And Oak
Wow.
Grove is leading their region too.
Okay. Well, 6 points. Well, we'll be looking forward to that, and we'll keep an eye on that here next week as well. All right, we're going to take a break. When we come back, we're going to look at the college schedule for the week, and we'll go back over those high school scores for anybody who missed it right here on the WJLX Scoreboard Show. And we're back on the WJLX Scoreboard Show. I'm Nick Norris. With me, Patrick Hanna and Brian Hell. And we're going to skim through these games one more time, all these finals, and then talk a little bit about some of the other sports, college and professional, going on as we speak. Jasper gets a homecoming win over Columbia when Columbia gets their 100th loss consecutively. Jasper wins 61-22. Fultondale beats Curry last night on the WJBE game of the week, 38-10. Gordo beats Carbon Hill 61-25. Oakman beats Midfield 50-22. South Lamar beats Lynn 46-34. And Meek takes care of business over Vina 52-8. Winston County gets the shutout over Decatur Heritage 49-0. Good Hope beats Dora 35-15. And Cordova beats Haleyville 14-13 in a close one with a score provided by Jared Aaron, our good friend of the show. And Addison beats Phillips 48-6. Elsewhere in high school football, Thompson beats Prattville 29-15. Carver Birmingham beats Corner 34-26. Gadsden City, who is Jasper's playoff round 1 opponent, beats May Jemison 13-12. And Phil Campbell beats Hansville Bad 76-29. We still do have one game currently going on, Hoover and Vestavia Hills, and I will provide that one to you when that one goes final. We have some college football tonight as well, though. 3 games. One of us already went final. North Texas beat Charlotte 54-20. As we speak, Cal and Virginia Tech are about to go into overtime, tied at 27. And Boise State and Nevada are in the second quarter there, tied at 3. And the World Series is also on tonight.
Yeah,
Patrick?
World Series. It's top of 8. The Blue Jays are up 11-4 over the Dodgers. And really kind of surprising that one. I thought that one would be a little bit closer, but I'm personally, I'm happy for the Blue Jays. That's somebody new in there.
Yeah.
They don't really.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, when's the last time that they've made to the World Series?
When I was a kid, I used to remember seeing them doing something. I'm talking like 85, 86, when they would have good series with the Braves.
Yeah.
That's about it.
Because weren't they used to be called the Montreal Expos?
Yeah, there was the Montreal Expos and the Houston Astros, and let's see here, who else was there? It's moved. There's been so many moves in my 51 years, it's not even funny. But yeah, we used to have they used to be a lot different power base than there is
Yeah.
now. It's fluctuated.
Right.
I mean, the Yankees and the Red Sox have always been the Yankees and the Red Sox, but there's been a whole lot of others swirling. I mean, it's really changed up over the years.
Well, let's take a look at the college football schedule tomorrow. Now, outside of the SEC, we don't have a single ranked matchup, but we do have a few in the SEC, and we'll start with our teams that everybody cares the most about. And the first one at 11:45 a.m. tomorrow is Auburn and Arkansas. The Razorbacks are a 2.5-point favorite there at home.
Yeah, that's going to be a lot of eyes are going to be there.
Yeah.
For multiple reasons. One, is it going to be Freeze's last matchup? 2, I think he's already named the starting quarterback. I think he's sticking with Arnold, but you've also had Deuce Knight, and you've also had the Stanford transfer. He's gotten a lot of reps. Daniels has gotten a lot of reps this year. So, going to kind of see what's going to kind of happen there because they don't have many injuries. Arkansas's got about 8 or 10 starters out with injuries, but, defense is doing their end. Freeze is kind of running out of excuses on offense. I mean, the only other thing that he can do is basically take his hands off the play call sheet and let his OC do it, or he's going to be looking at the door, is what I think.
Well, Brian took a look at those ticket prices for this game at Arkansas, and tell everybody how hefty that price was to get inside.
$8.
$8?
Let's go, guys. Let's go.
Now,
We can drive all night.
you think for a minute, who's on the sideline back at Arkansas?
Oh, yeah.
At the very least, that would at least say, okay, $30, $40 ticket at the very least. Hey, look, going to Cairo is more than that.
Yeah, that's $10 to get in there,
Yeah.
unless you're faculty.
$8. Yeah. I don't pay to get in there.
I don't either.
Media.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, There was years ago. I mean, I was right out of high school. I used to write stories for the Daily Mountain Eagle, and I used my media pass that they gave me that I wrote for them maybe 2 years. I used it for like 6 years after that.
Yep.
Just go and fly here for the paper. It'd be schools that the Daily Mountain Eagle didn't even cover.
Yep. It worked.
So, getting to these games, though, like you said, Arkansas, Auburn, big implications there for Auburn, and Arkansas has a chance to get an SEC win and.
Arkansas wins. I
SEC
bet you they
opponent.
take the interim tag off.
Yeah, that's maybe so. Alabama is traveling to South Carolina. Alabama this week got back into the top 4 in the AP poll, and they are a 11.5-point favorite in that one. 2:30 kickoff on ABC. You can also listen here on WJLX.
How backwards are the South Carolina people? They're coming up with Fire Mike Schuler right now. We did that in 2006. Come on, guys, get with it.
Yeah,
I know retro is somewhat in what goodness.
I mean, I'll be honest. I'm kind of shocked at how bad South Carolina's been playing this year. I really had high hopes for them that they were going to continue because they brought a lot of the same people back.
yeah.
They were supposed to be probably
A playoff contender.
Yeah, they were looked at as being one of the top 4 of the SEC to contend.
Well, that didn't end up being the case, and so we'll see tomorrow how Alabama handles kind of being back in that top spotlight again, back in the top 4.
Have you bought
Some people
your
are calling
black
it a
hoodie
trap
yet?
game. What was that?
Have you bought your black hoodie yet?
I have not. I have not. But I've been getting ads for them and so many just knockoff fake versions too that I've seen. I'm seeing ads for. A big one tomorrow at 11 to start the day. We have number 8 Ole Miss and number 13 Oklahoma. The Sooners are a 5.5-point favorite there at home.
A lot of people are thinking Oklahoma's going to beat Ole Miss, but you know, there's been a lot of distractions with Lane Kiffin this week being tied to the Florida job, and
Right.
he supposedly had a team meeting today to kind of tell them, saying, hey, you want to know why this is happening? It's because we're winning.
Yeah.
You know, he's really kind of addressing the thing now instead of just trying to ignore it like he did when he
usually
was
does.
tied to Auburn.
Yeah.
But with him coming out, and it's kind of like what me and James were talking about at halftime before the homecoming ceremony. You know, Ole Miss is not a bad job.
No.
But the one thing that they've kind of got there that me and James were talking about is if you go and look at their contracts, they can only have up to 3 years. But it's like one of those their state mandate rules and stuff in Mississippi. But if you think about it, if he continues to win, he's going to continue to get raises. But Florida, what's so attractive there is their NIL money that they have.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, it's like an unlimited amount of money for him to be able to attract the players that he really wants. But if he was really smart, I would stay at Ole Miss because you kind of working yourself towards that lifetime contract.
Sorry to go back to high school football for just a moment. We just had a crazy update in that Hoover-Vestavia Hills game. That one did go final. Vestavia won 39-30 over Hoover, but the way they did it is absolutely crazy. And if you can, search out the video. CBS 42 posted it. You should go check it out. Hoover punts the ball to Vestavia. Vestavia, the punt returner, catches it, backward pass. Guy runs it in for like 60 yards for a touchdown.
Oh,
Wow.
So, pretty cool. Pretty cool way to get the win there. 39-30. That one went final as well. Yes, back to Lane Kiffin in Florida, though. Do you think he's going to take the job? If it's offered to him, which it seems like it probably will be.
I figure it'll be offered to him, but I don't think he'll take it.
Yeah.
I don't think. I mean, he's got a good thing that he's built there, and he needs to showcase to people that I'm going to make my own legacy. I'm not just going to keep jumping and following the dollar signs.
I mean, he's been in Ole Miss now for nearly 10 years, right?
For a pretty good while.
Yeah. I think if he left, nobody would blame him. But like you said, that does run that risk of now there's a lot higher expectation. But a lot of coaches want that. So, I don't know. I think it could go either way. I think it's completely depends on where he's at in life right now. I think if it was 10 years ago, he would have jumped on it immediately, obviously. I don't know how settled in he is to the community. I don't know how much money they're going to bring a dump truck full of back to his
Now,
driveway. So
me personally, I wouldn't mind seeing him at Auburn, but his
Yeah.
daughter would probably like him to go to the other Tiger in LSU and
Yeah.
stuff. I mean, because then she wouldn't have a problem there. Then she's right there with her boyfriend.
Yeah, which they may have an opening here too. Okay, let's keep it moving here. Number 15, Missouri at number 10, Vandy. That's a 2:30 kickoff. Another ranked matchup. And Vandy, the Commodores, are a 2.5-point favorite.
Is this the highest Vandy's ever been ranked?
It's up there.
I mean,
Yeah, probably in the modern era.
yeah, probably in the modern era, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, they were 10th for the Bama. Were they at 10th at the Bama game?
I don't know.
I thought they might have been in the top 10 because I thought that was a top 10 matchup.
Yeah.
Well, if so, they're back in it now. Yeah, I mean, game day was there, so it probably was a top
Yeah,
10
it might have
matchup.
been.
Yeah.
But I'm sticking with Vandy. I'm riding the Pavia wagon right now. I mean,
Yeah.
and Clark Leah, he might be a dark horse for some of these jobs. I mean, how many people can say that they've taken a Vandy team to a top 10? I mean, James Franklin.
Yeah.
But that's about it.
You're right. We also have number 22, Texas at Mississippi State. The Longhorns are a 7.5-point favorites. That's a 3:15 kickoff.
You know, you almost wonder. State's been so close in so many of these. When are they going to get that one? Because you
Yeah.
know it's coming. They have just lost by so little to so many teams. Tennessee, Florida. You just got to wonder, when is it coming?
Now, they are right now my pick as the most improved team. I mean, I know the records don't show it, but just being physical and competitive in the games, I mean, we haven't seen this since Dan Mullen was there.
No.
Yeah, you take, 4 or 5 plays, and this team is, maybe has 1 loss?
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's incredible.
The game that I'm personally most excited for, we've got number 3 Texas A&M going to number 20 LSU for a night game there, 6:30 kickoff. The Aggies are a 2.5-point favorite at LSU.
The guys, that's a very historic game. Remember, that
Yeah.
was a 7 overtime.
That's what I was about to say.
Yes.
That was a 7.
One of the probably the best game I'll ever see. I mean, for a regular season game, just
It was incredible.
yeah, yeah, it was. So that one's there, and Brian Kelly's seat continues getting hotter. I wouldn't say they're necessarily maybe close to firing him just yet, but it's not comfortable. Not a
No.
comfortable scenario right now. So that'll be interesting if they lose that one out of top 25, obviously. And yeah, that's going to be a pretty big stain on the season for Brian Kelly. That'll be their third loss if that is the captain. Texas A&M undefeated as well.
And Patrick, maybe you're onto something. Maybe old Lane just jumps down to Baton Rouge.
I'm telling you.
That's in his
That's-
personality. Boy,
That'd be a great
would be a-
culture fit.
That would
Exactly.
be a great fit for that university.
Yeah.
And if it happens, you heard it here first on the Scoreboard Show.
Well,
Making a lot more sense.
you know, Lane was working out in Birmingham this morning, so UAB
Hey.
could be calling.
That would be too much fun. Too much fun.
And to close out SEC play, we've got number 17, Tennessee at Kentucky for a 6:45 kick. The Vols are a 8.5-point favorite, which I really
sure
thought they'd
that'll-
be more than that.
I was
That'll
about to
wake
say it'll be a-
everybody up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. When we come back, we'll look at the NFL schedule for the weekend. We'll go over those high school scores again, and we'll check back in on the World Series and those college games that are ongoing right here on the WJLX Scoreboard Show. And welcome back to the WJLX Scoreboard Show. Now, every week we do our pick 'em, where we pick a game that we are not covering here on either of our sister stations, and we make a score prediction, see who was the closest. Now, this week we had Curry and Fultondale. Now, what was the final for that game, Curry and Fultondale? It was 38 Fultondale, 10 Curry. Zach picked Curry, 27-25. Patrick picked Curry, 42-21. I picked Fultondale, 21-17. Sebastian picked Curry, 28-10. Chris picked Curry, 25-21. James picked Fultondale, 22-18. Brian picked Curry, 35-25. Timmons picked Curry, 26-24. And I don't have Woody's written down. Maybe his is in the group message there. Maybe he sent his late, or maybe he didn't send one. Not sure. But out of those, who was closest to 38-10 in Fultondale's favor? We had two Fultondale picks, me and James. I had 21-17. James had 22-18. So I guess James got it by a point, maybe. Well, it's the same. He said 22-18. I said 21-17.
So that's really kind of, I would almost say that would be a tie.
I'll give it to James. He had 1 point higher. He's 1 point closer than I am, so I'll give it to him.
Oh, don't give it to him, because then he's going to start rubbing it back in on Zach.
That's okay. I'm 1 point closer to
Actually,
Curry.
you are technically the winner because you got closer. You both had 22.
No, I had 21.
You had 21.
So he's a point closer
Then
to
y'all are tied.
Fultondale. I'm a point closer to Curry.
Y'all are tied.
Wow. Y'all have to buy us both dinner. we have to split a dinner. We get a kid's meal each. Is what it is.
Yeah, that's amazing that we had a tie. But yeah, it's actually
Yeah.
if it all cancels out, y'all are dead even.
Unless Woody sent his, and his is closer.
I just went back and looked, and I didn't see anything on Woody.
Okay, so we never got one from Woody. Okay. Well, there we go.
So
Wow,
everybody
I
pretty
finally
much
got
has-
one,
Yeah,
sorta.
everybody's kind of won one so far this year.
I got one with an asterisk
Yeah.
next to it. Okay.
Well, mine was the same way.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
It's the top
mine
two?
was the same, except for the one that we didn't pick on. I think
Well,
we've
guys,
had two on that one.
Here's my question: are we going to do stuff during the playoffs?
Ooh.
Ooh.
We could. Maybe we go way out there and pick like not any Walker win team. We pick like just some random.
Well, how about
Winston County.
in the area? Winston County, Jefferson County, Tuscaloosa,
Yeah.
Coleman, that we see,
Sure.
that we know about.
Yeah.
That way there's a little bit of intrigue. I don't
Yeah.
want to pick Sunshine versus Brantley, 800 miles down to the
Sweet.
south.
You don't want to pick Sweetwater?
Florala, man.
Yeah. Don't know nothing about it, so yeah, we'll just pick. No, but I mean,
Yeah.
we would know what Hartselle, Muscle Shoals.
Sure.
Those are the games that we could really pick.
Yeah, that's what we should do. That's a good idea. We'll do that when we get there. As for this coming week, we decided on a Halloween game, Oakman and Southeastern. And I know a little bit about Southeastern because I worked at Cleveland High School last year. It was in the same region. Beautiful school if you've ever been there. It's relatively new, about 10 years old or so. When I was in high school, I played at Southern Christian. We played Southeastern their first 2 years of having a program. And there used to be this little magazine, I doubt it's still around, but it would highlight all the high school football games.
Oh yeah, I remember that Friday Night Lights.
Hello.
Yeah. So an update on the double overtime, it is Virginia Tech 42, California 34. California's got the ball, and it's 3rd and 10 from Virginia Tech's 25. Then we also have
What's your name?
where it's the top of the ninth in the World Series. Toronto is still leading 11-4 in that game. And I'm kind of curious who they had pitching for the Dodgers on that one.
thank you. Thanks for letting me know.
So we had, they've kind of done like a pitching by committee in this one. But Otani had a home run in the 7th. That's his 6th of the postseason
Oh, wow.
in that aspect. And for no real big, it's really just kind of been a team effort on Toronto's aspect. No real big players in that one. But yeah, it's that's kind of like the two things that are kind of updating in college and professional aspect. So it's 4th down right now. Virginia Tech, if they get a stop here, they win in double overtime.
Okay. All right.
We have our first pick.
And
And
we
we
also
do.
have a game. Virginia Tech just stopped them, and they win.
Oh, wow. Okay, real time right there. Really quickly, want to thank Richard for calling in. He just let us know that game has been moved. That's going to be played Thursday now, that Oakman Southeastern game at Southeastern. So it won't be a Halloween game. It'll be the night before. But we will be on Halloween for a,
Yeah, I was
a
about to say-
special spooky episode, I guess. But
We all get to dress up.
ooh, yeah. What I was saying though is when I was at Southern Christian, we had a magazine. Maybe it was Friday Night Lights. There was some small magazine that would highlight all the high schools, and on Southeastern's page, their second year, their little blurb, they were so cruel to this brand new team. And I remember it said somebody wrote in it. It was like Southeastern High School, easily the worst high school football team in the state of Alabama. Didn't score a point this game, and was specifically naming kids that didn't play well. And I remember thinking, like, who wrote this? Why? Brutal. But they've been since then become a very good team,
Yeah, they're
very good
7-2,
school.
I believe,
Yeah,
on the season.
like consistently every year has gotten better, and yeah, I like Southeastern. They're a very cool school. So. With that being said, let's get into our picks between Southeastern and Oakman. Guys, I always wait and go last. I'll go first. I'm going to go with Southeastern. And I'm going to say, oh, man. It's the last game of the year, so maybe people are going all out. I'm going to say a little bit more high scoring than I usually say. And I'll say 38-27. Patrick, you want to go?
I'm gonna go Oakman 35-31.
35-31 Oakman. Brian?
I'm going to say Oakman 32-28.
Ooh.
Oakman 32-28.
Mm-hmm.
And then we get some interesting picks in and some smack talking going live as well in this group chat.
Okay.
We got the apprentice, Zach McCullough, taking the score of 36-26 Southeastern.
36-26 Southeastern. Okay, well, that's pretty close to my score. 38-27.
And then the leader of the pack, Jonathan Timmons, is going 30-29 Wildcats.
30-29 Oakman.
And then James Phillips is going 36-29 Southeastern.
Okay, so we got 3 Southeastern, 3 Oakman.
And then Zach complains about James stealing his score. And James is saying, great minds think alike. I didn't see the previous score before sending it. Why are you still up, Zach?
Well, they don't have the exact same score, do they? Zach had 36-26. Is that right? And James had 36-29.
Uh-huh.
So a little bit of a difference there, and different. The same team. They both picked Southeastern.
Yeah.
That's funny. Yeah, we'll see who's closer there. Very nice. Well, that will be next week. So that one's going to be played on a Thursday, and so we will come into maybe that'll be what we start
I
with.
think
next
pretty
week.
much everybody's playing Thursday, just about.
Yes. Yeah.
That's something that we were addressing. We'll have to address what we'll be doing at Crawfish Warehouse, because all of our coaches in the area, except for Curry's, is going to be playing on Thursday night.
Right.
Curry's.
Well,
the
Jasper's
Curry's
still
season
playing on
really-
Friday.
Yes.
Yeah, but as far as the
Oh, yeah,
the
from
county
counties,
coaches,
yeah.
I think that Jasper attempted to change or there was talk of maybe changing it, and then it was just like this. There's too much going on.
Well, I think it's Lawrence County's senior night.
Yeah.
I think that was
okay.
part of the problem.
That
is what I
probably
was
makes
told.
sense. Yeah. Well, okay. Well, very good. Well, Brian, you tried to leave during the break, so if you still want to go before we talk NFL, I will allow you.
Guys, it was a pleasure. I appreciate it.
Yeah, we appreciate it. Thank you for coming on. Thank you for talking some WJBE and WJLX football, and we'll see you around.
Roll Tide.
Roll Tide from Brian. All right, Patrick. Well, let's take a look at the NFL slates for the weekend. Now, we already had one game, the Thursday night game, of course.
Mm-hmm.
Vikings and Chargers took care of business 37-10. You think we're ever going to see J.J. McCarthy play a snap again?
They said that he took some snaps in practice
Really?
and all, but didn't Carson Wentz get hurt?
I don't know.
I
He's a little
think
banged up.
I think he got a little banged up because they. I thought they brought in another quarterback and they were making the. Yeah, they did by the scores here. Max Brosmer came in and finished up. He was 3 of 4 for 13 yards, but they're saying that McCarthy's not that far off.
Okay.
So he might.
Yeah.
We might see him next week.
I think there's been some talk about how's his injury and if they've been kind of milking that to keep him on the sideline. I know the timetable eventually originally was 2 to 4 weeks, then it got moved up to 6 weeks, and some confusion about that. But yeah, I mean, I think he'll be back out there at some point. Maybe not this week, but I think they've the last report I said is that he's possible for next week's game. So we'll see. Some more that's going on Sunday. We're going to start out in the 12 o'clock window there with the Jets at the Bengals. Jets still trying to get that first win, and Justin Fields not expected to start.
Nah, they're going with Tyrod Taylor to be able to kind of start. And I was really excited about Aaron Glenn coming there.
Yeah.
I mean, I really thought that they hit a good home run higher there, but this team's worse than last year.
Yeah, this is the worst start in Jets history.
Yeah, I mean, it's real embarrassing.
Yeah. Yeah, this is rough, and rough to get benched for Tyrod Taylor. No disrespect to Tyrod Taylor, but it seems like Justin Fields may also be in that Tyrod Taylor tier where he's just destined to be a journeyman backup.
Yeah,
and which I like. I like Justin Fields. I liked him when he was on the Steelers.
Yeah, because he did a good job filling in for Russell Wilson.
Yeah, and I guess. There was a lot of controversy when they put Russ back out there to start over him in the Steelers, and I guess Tomlin as usually knew what he was doing. But, yeah, hopefully eventually ends up somewhere in a good fit. I still think
he still has a lot of football left.
I think so. We got the Bears at the Ravens. Ravens still looking for their second win of the year, but they are favored 7.5 points in that one. We also have the Dolphins and the Falcons, and we've been talking about coaches on the hot seat. Every week it feels like Mike McDaniel is going to be fired, and then he's not.
I'm surprised he's still there, to be honest with you.
Me too. So that'll be interesting. Atlanta is a 7.5 point favorite for any of our Falcon fans out there. That's 12 o'clock on CBS. We also have the Bills at the Panthers. That'd probably be a pretty good game. Both of those are 7.5 point favorite.
Yeah, that could be a good game. I mean, Bryce Young's been playing a little bit better.
Yeah.
I know he got banged up last week, but I think he's still good to go in that one. If he's not, it may not be as close as what we thought because I don't really have faith in Andy Dalton. No disrespect.
Red Rifle.
Yeah.
Speaking of banged up, we got the 49ers going to the Texans, and Houston, despite their 2-4 record, is a 1.5 point favorite in that one. 49ers has just been falling apart.
And to be 5-2, that's impressive.
It really is.
And Mac Jones has been playing good, and Brock Purdy's absent.
Yeah. We got the Giants at the Eagles. The Giants almost feel like the reverse of the Jets situation, where Brian DeBoer has kind of lucked his way into keeping his job. Of course, they still only have 2 wins.
But if it wasn't
it looks up,
Yeah, I mean, Jackson Dart shows a lot of potential. You got
Ken Scatterbo.
Scatterbo back there. So they've got the pieces in place, and the ball is showing that, hey, if I got the right personnel, I can get there.
Yeah.
But the big news out of the Giants is the fines that came out this week for that tent aspect.
I think Scatterbo got fined like $150,000 or something like that. Or maybe it's $15,000.
It was $15,000. I think the ball got the 100-something thousand, and then I think the team got, I think it was $50,000. It came out to close to $200-something thousand in fines for that incident, which is insane.
I'm sure there's a lot of legal issues that go into that. So that's why they're, we got the Browns at the Patriots to close out that 12 o'clock window, and New England is a 7.5 point favorite.
You think we'll ever see Shador this season?
I don't think so.
I mean,
it doesn't seem like it.
It's like they're going to ride or die with Dylan Gabriel.
Yeah. Unless he gets hurt, I don't think so. And even then, they'll probably just go pick up somebody because they seem very.
Sean, we're taking you off the IR. You're going in.
In that 3 o'clock window, we've got the Bucks at the Saints. Tampa Bay is a 3.5 point favorite. We also got Titans at the Colts. Colts are a 14.5 point favorite, and we've got Cowboys at the Broncos. Denver, a 3.5 point favorites.
Cowboys have been kind of being a little bit more competitive
Yeah.
in that aspect. I mean, I think they're kind of turning a corner and kind of getting comfortable with Schottenheimer there.
Mm-hmm.
The Commanders, which I know they're the Monday night game, my fantasy team's hurting because I had Jaden Daniels as my quarterback.
Oh,
so
yeah.
that's kind of hurting me there.
Yeah. And then Sunday night, a game that I will be at, that I'll be flying out to in just a few hours. We've got the Packers at the Steelers, and Aaron Rodgers facing his old team of Green Bay. Despite it being at the Steelers, Green Bay is a 2.5-point favorite. I saw that the Packers have chosen to wear their all whites to avoid the awful yellow combination because the Steelers are wearing their 1933 ugly uniforms.
Oh, gosh, I can't stand
I'm like, of course I'm going to go finally get to see them, and they're wearing the worst uniforms ever created.
Well, what do you think about that comment that Aaron Rodgers said that when he retires, he's going to retire a Packer?
I figured he would. He said that for years now, too. There was always talk that Brady would do the same thing, and I guess he never did that. He never ended up doing it, did he?
Mm-mm.
I know they got close to it. Like he was
Yeah.
in the building, and then it just didn't work out. But
I think it was Kraft was not for it because of how he just basically said he's
adios. Yeah.
adios, which Aaron Rodgers, I think it was a mutual split.
Yeah.
Because Aaron Rodgers knew that Jordan Love was going to be the future franchise quarterback, and I kind of see it as a respect thing. But do you think Rodgers is going to retire after this year? I mean, because he's kind of found the little fountain of youth there.
I think if he's going to retire whenever he has a decent end. So if they win one playoff game, I think he'll retire.
You think he will?
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe. It's hard. Apparently, it's very hard for guys to hang it up for real. So.
I mean, I would like to see him take the Elway and Peyton Manning approach. You get the Super Bowl, go out on top.
Yeah. Oh, I'd love for the Super Bowl for the Steelers.
Yeah.
I'm not there yet of delusion, but
But
maybe.
one of the statistics that's pretty impressive is Tomlin is one of the most. I think he's got one of the best winning percentages as active head coach. Cause I don't think, if I'm remembering correctly, he may only have one losing season since he's been the head coach, and I think it might have been maybe Roethlisberger's last year or so.
No, he's never had one.
He's never had one.
Never had a losing season.
So it must have been a 500.
Yeah.
then.
Yes. Yeah. He has had 500. He's never had a losing season with the Steelers.
That's impressive.
Yeah. So a lot of times whenever people call for his job, they're kind of like,
Why?
well,
I mean, he's winning.
Your ceiling's not always super high, but your floor's really high. So it's like, but then you also get into the debate of, well, then how do you ever really reload? And that's kind of a situation we've had for a while too.
Mm-hmm.
I like Tom. I hope Tomlin stays.
I do too.
I do think at some point, because he's been there for so long, that he'll want to leave, and I wouldn't blame him. Try something else. You're there for a long time, so I think at some point we'll get a mutual parting. But I don't see them ever firing him unless the wheels just completely came off one year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which it doesn't really look like it.
Yeah. That was kind of the thought that maybe this would be that year, and it hasn't been yet. So. There has been some talk that Aaron Rodgers is mad about the uniforms this week because since it's he's playing his old team and he's wanting to have a very good game. Apparently, he thinks that these highlights will be played forever, and he doesn't want these in the history books and those ugly uniforms. But it is what it is. That's what we'll be looking at. And then Monday night, we've got
Commanders and the Chiefs.
Yes, Commanders and Chiefs, and Kansas City 11.5-point favorite in that one. I'm glad it's just one Monday Night Football game.
Well, and I'm glad that we also don't have the Sunday morning early games from overseas, too.
Yes, we get a break from that before they start them back. Yeah.
Because I think this is like the first one that we've had a break in.
It's like week 2.
Yeah.
Yeah, or something like that. It was like 6 in a row.
I seriously think they're trying to get a team over there.
Yeah. They've been trying to move the Jaguars there for 20 years. They just can't get the logistics around it.
Well, and you're going to get – you'd probably end up getting taxed twice.
That's the thing. The biggest logistic issue is how do you convince players to stick around if they're having to pay taxes in 2 countries?
Exactly.
It's already difficult to get them to pay it in 2 states.
Yeah, exactly.
So like 2 countries, that's a big deal. And travel. They could figure the travel out. Obviously, we've been there every week. A team has been there every week. But
the Jaguars have basically been there every single week.
Yeah.
I think they're trying to give us a hint on where they're.
If there's a new team, it won't be started. They will just move the Jaguars to London, 100%. Well, that closes out the NFL, and that's about to wrap up our show. But one more time, let's go through those high school finals in case you missed them earlier. Jasper beats Columbia 61-22. Fultondale beats Curry 38-10. Gordo beats Carbon Hill 61-25. Oakman gets the win over Midfield 50-22. South Lamar survives Lynn 46-34. Meek beats Vina 52-8. Winston County shuts out Decatur Heritage 49-0. Good Hope beats Dora 35-15. Cordova survives Haleyville 14-13, and Addison beats Phillips 48-6. I want to thank everybody for listening and sticking with us through almost a full regular season. One more week of it. Of course, next week will be the final regular season game. Doesn't mean we're going anywhere. We're going to keep going through the playoffs. But thank you so far for sticking with us. We hope that you continue to and are ready for a nice, spooky Halloween night.
So are we going to dress up?
Full costume.
For the live feed?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. What
So-
are you going to be?
Well, see, here's the thing. We got a big dress up at Maddox because it's
Oh,
also
yeah.
Red Ribbon Week.
Oh,
And so
okay.
we're doing Halloween costumes on
that's
Friday.
cool.
And so the faculty's all kind of got different themes. And so the PE department, we're going 80s theme. And
Oh,
so
that's
I'm
cool.
sticking with the 80s theme, and I'm going as Richard Simmons.
That's great.
Yes.
That's fantastic.
I may not wear the tank top up here if it's cold, but, but yeah, if I come in a costume, that would be it.
I'll be in costume too. Maybe I'll wear my Batman costume. I always the 1960s Batman recently.
Oh, really?
So it's like the briefs on the outside of the pants.
Yeah.
It's a very like campy, ridiculous
the Adam
Batman.
West.
The non-threatening Adam West
Yeah,
Batman. So
there you
maybe
go.
that's what I'll wear in here. But thank you all for listening, for following along. We hope to see you again Friday, and we look forward to a great last week of regular season football before vast majority of our teams in the state are no longer playing. So this will be a big last hurrah for a lot of them, and a big sort of reset for some of our teams that are going into the playoffs. And we'll cover it all right here on the WJLX Scoreboard Show. Patrick, hope you have a great night. Good rest of your weekend. I'm about to go catch a flight, and so I will I'll let you know how that goes.
Safe travels, buddy.
Appreciate it. See you guys. Have a great weekend.